this is FlippedHarber for Algebra 2. In this video we'll be looking at exponential functions with growth and decay. The objective for this lesson is to write and evaluate exponential expressions to model both growth and decay. Our outline for the video, we'll start by talking about what an exponential function is. We'll take a look at some exponential data. Then we'll take a look at some graphs of exponential functions. And then we'll take a look at some growth and decay. So an exponential function is simply a function where our variable x is in the power location rather than in the main line of the equation somewhere. So f of x equals b to the x is an example of an exponential function. B is a real number that's greater than 0 but not equal to 1. And again, x is just our variable, and this time it's in the power location. Here's a look at some exponential data. Now, we're used to looking at the data and taking a look at the change in y as a difference. But in this case, you can see that instead of a difference, a constant adding or subtracting of a number, we actually double the data as we move across. So this is exponential data because we're multiplying by a real number as we go across the graph. As x increases by 1, we're multiplying the y data by 2 each time. Looking at the graph for an exponential function, I went ahead and I graphed f of x equals 2 to the x. We see that it's a curve that goes up. Now this is not half of a parabola or anything like that. It's a curve that starts down by the x-axis and goes through the y-axis at 1 and goes up from there. Now, all exponentials have a y-intercept of 1. As long as we stick to the basic b to the x power, then the graph always goes through the y-axis at a positive 1. We have a horizontal asymptote at the x-axis, or at the y equals 0 line. That means that that graph forever gets closer and closer to the x-axis, but never touches it, never crosses it. Now let's take a look at some growth and decay. Here we see a slightly different version of our exponential function.